Ableton has an algorithm where if you load a sound in Simpler, it actually does decrease the quality. So that's actually true. You're gonna notice when you pitch a sound down, there's gonna be a difference. For example, so that's the hi-hat at the regular pitch it down. I'm gonna play it on the keyboard. Now listen to this sound as I pitch it down. Let's go down like 26, and then let's bring this way down to 12, 24, 25, 26. Okay, listen to this. So that's negative 26 in MIDI, a simpler and sampler, and then listen to that. That's audio. Do you guys hear that difference? It's huge. Listen to that. Big difference in audio. This is much cleaner. This is much grimier. Now, there are situations where it really does matter. When doing hi-hat rolls, it makes hi-hats sound kind of dirty in Ableton, which can be good for some tracks. To fix it, this is what you do. Once you're in Simpler, you want to right-click and go Simpler to Sampler. And then for interpolation, here on the right, you want to go from normal to best interpolation. Then, when you listen, they sound identical. You guys got that? To take it one step further, what you want to do is go into Sampler, load a sampler, empty. You want to set interpolation. It'll be on normal by default. You want to set it to best. Right-click at the top and click Save as Default Preset. Then once you do that, you want to also right-click and go Sampler to Simpler. Once you change that setting and then convert back to Simpler, now Simpler will be at the highest quality. Again, you want to right-click this and click Save as Default Preset. So what that means is anytime you load a Simpler or sampler in Ableton, it's going to be the highest quality possible. That means no more grimy sounding hi-hats. That will completely resolve the audio issue in Ableton when it comes to sampling. Here's one thing to keep in mind. After you save that Simpler and sampler as a default, when you double-click a hi-hat or a sound, it will go into Simpler, but if you do it by double-clicking a sound into the browser, it's still going to be on that low-quality mode. Here's the workaround, and this might kind of suck. What you have to do is load a Simpler or sampler first and drag the sound manually into Simpler or sampler, so you keep that setting. Otherwise, if you double-click a sound, it's going to be normal interpolation, and you'll have to go in and manually change it. Just want to let you guys know that. Now, we have to get into the DAW wars a little bit. Some people say that DAWs sound different, and I'm always a proponent saying no, a DAW is a DAW. But in this case, if you're doing a hi-hat in FL Studio and you do a hi-hat in Ableton without changing anything, I guarantee if you pitch a hi-hat up or down, it will sound better in FL Studio if you're using high resolution in FL. For example, if you set FL to 512 sync point, it's going to sound cleaner than Simpler by default. Now that you change that setting to best interpolation, your hi-hat in FL and Ableton, there shouldn't be a difference because now you can control the pitching in Ableton. This is just my thought, and chime in and let me know what you guys think. Computers are at a point right now where we can handle high interpolation in a Simpler sampler. The audible difference is so drastic, especially in music like trap music and dance music where pitching hi-hats is so important to the sound. You can really hear a difference. This is something that actually bothered me. Someone brought it to me in Instagram DM, and I was studying this and I figured out what the difference is. This is a way to directly improve the quality in Ableton. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, sampling in Ableton doesn't sound as good as sampling in FL Studio. It's all bullshit. There are some workarounds. So Ableton, if you're listening, please just make this fix. Just make it default, or at least allow us the option to make it default when we double click a sampler. So when Simpler or sampler comes up, it's in high quality. So that is how you do it. Did you guys know about this? I studied and I figured it out. This is the difference between Ableton and other DAWs when it comes to quality. This is why some people have been upset with the quality in Ableton, I think, because things like this. This is how you fix the quality in Ableton. Blackjack said, that's the funny part. I've always been afraid to use drums as MIDI, so I've been using audio drums as itself. So with this fix, you no longer need to put your drums in audio. This literally fixed the quality. DECAP.